Hello, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on the country that you are based. Here in Spain, if we don't have lunch, we can say good morning. So thank you all for joining us today. We are in the first edition of this series of Industry 4.0 Web Cafes that we decided to join forces together with DIMOFAC, Penelope, Integradde, LevelUp and I4MS, which are different European projects that are supporting the development of the European industry. And today we are going to cover one of the, a big topic. We are going to try to, to give an overview of what are the challenges of the European manufacturing, how the different European initiatives and projects that are currently running can support the transformation of the digital industry, of the manufacturing industry, sorry. And that's why together with me today we have 4 different speakers that I will introduce later today. But first, let me give you a little bit of an overview on why this topic is so much of important and why the European Commission is also putting a lot of efforts in making sure that all the European manufacturing companies, no matter the place where they are based, that they can access to all the advanced manufacturing technologies. You have to be reminded that currently in the European Union there are more than 2 million SMEs. This means that for the European economy, SMEs are the motor of the economy, and that's why it's important that we provide all the necessary resources for them to transform digitally, to make sure that they can take advantage of the digital technologies, and of course, also that they can grow, that they can be competitive, and they can, be strong enough to have their place in the global economy. So yeah, as I was saying, the COVID crisis also has shown that there are many weaknesses of the globalized supply chains that affected especially the manufacturing SMEs on the supply and demand sides. Also, due to the different lockdown measures, there were also a lot of affected industries. So now I think is the right timing. We all realize how necessary it is to use the technologies to, to be more connected, to be more efficient and also productive. But still, there are some questions that we need to solve. No matter how good the benefits of technologies are, it's true that there are some challenges that the SMEs faced on the daily activities. So together with the different projects today, we are going to give you some information and also some access to opportunities that might be of interest for the different SMEs. So with this introduction, I will move to the presentation of the panelists. So first of all, I will be your host today. My name is Maria Roca. I work at Funding Bots, which is a platform that connects investors and SMEs in their quest of funding. So we provide information about funding opportunities and how to scale up businesses. My main role within the company is managing different European projects. All of them are related to the manufacturing industry and the support to digitalize SMEs. And mainly my work is focused on the I4MS initiative, that is the European initiative supporting the manufacturing SMEs. So then the first panelist we have today is Cécile Girardot. She's a PhD in material science, expert in microelectronics and DIMOFAC project manager at the French Commissariat à l'Énergie Atomique et aux Énergies Alternatives. That is a French public government funded research organization in the area of energy, defense and security. Also, I have together with me Ifigenia Metazza. She is R&D project manager at Atlantis Engineer. That is a Greek company that supports SMEs in uptaking the asset management solutions since 1996. and she's the project coordinator of LevelUp. So Cecile, if you can briefly introduce DIMOFAC.
Yes, DIMOFAC is a vast consortium of 30 partners, including research and technical organization, as well as major industrial software and technology providers to develop innovative digital intelligent modular factory. So digital for D, intelligent, the E of DIMOFAC, and modular, so we have the Mo, and factory, the FAC of DIMOFAC. So end users from 6 European companies have agreed to give access to their production line to test the DIMOFAC solution as a proof of concept and to demonstrate the relevance of such a system for manufacturers who hope to develop a more efficient and cost-effective modern production line for themselves. So to complete the team, test benches and the industrial association are participating and preparing the continuation of this project. Indeed, the solution under development should be available within 2 years for implementation in SMEs or large companies. So I have the pleasure of coordinating this team, and I am convinced that the result will be excellent in the end because the motivation and rigor is very present within the consortium. So keep a watchful eye of what we do in the coming months by subscribing to our newsletter on the DIMOFAC website. You won't be deceived.
Thank you. Ifigenia, if you can briefly also introduce LevelUp.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity today. So in LevelUp, we want to raise the level of old machinery and major capital investments that, so to bring old critical machines that are not performing as they should, that they need to be upgraded towards Industry 4.0. So we apply principles, strategies, and protocols with a very big focus on circular economy. So there are different stages that one machine and one production line, and in essence, one process needs to go, starting from putting in CPS, digitizing, addressing knowledge management from the shop floors. We have also the use of digital twins for simulation and estimation of the remaining useful life, but also in case that a machine is not viable anymore, there are end-of-life strategies that include either the use of additive manufacturing or either laser-based techniques, or even the discarding of the machine bed in an environmental friendly way. We have 32 partners in the consortium and 7 companies that act as end users for demonstrating the solutions. We are halfway there in the project, so we have already some first results. So feel free to contact me if you want any more information, and keep looking into our website and social media. We always give out information about the latest developments. Thanks.
Thank you, Ifigenia. So moving to our 2 other speakers today, there are Felix Vidal, who is an industrial and welding engineer, and Penelope coordinator at IMEN, and also Camilo Prietio, who is researchers on laser-based manufacturing and member of Integradde coordination team. For those that are not familiar, IMEN is an innovation and technology center, highly specialized in the area of materials and advanced manufacturing technologies. So please, Felix, if you could briefly introduce Penelope.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity also to show what is Penelope. So Penelope is a research project, a European project, that put the focus on the development of an integrated solution, in this case for a more precise manufacturing of large components. So for doing that, the goal is to deploy a real scale and industrial driven pilot lines for end users in 4 different sectors, and also representing like 2 different realities. On one hand, one-of-a-kind manufacturing represented by oil and gas and shipbuilding sectors with less automation, more manual. The tasks are usually time-consuming, manual, and with some reworks. And on the other hand, we have another type of manufacturing approach represented by low-volume manufacturing, in this case, addressing other two sectors in bus and coach manufacturing and also aeronautics, in which the automation level is increased and also the volume of the products are also increasing in comparison with the previous one. Yeah. So the challenges that we have is, okay, usually manufacturing of large components are complex process involving a lot of manufacturing processes and also a lot of knowledge that we have to put together that usually lead to a lot of deformation tolerances due to the size and the weight of the components that makes very difficult to approach an automatic solution for them. Yeah. So in order to do that, what we are proposing is to focus on product-centric data management with reconfiguration of the production line, more or less, if we could say it in this way, in order to address the methodology for the manufacturing by sharing the real status of the component in each manufacturing step. And also helping for doing that, we also are addressing the development of user-centric solutions that will help the operator in performing the task. And we are relying on collaborative robots, on exoskeletons, and also on the use of augmented reality, virtual reality tools for extending the information to the worker. Yeah, so this is more or less the approach.
Thank you. Thank you. Camilo, if you could briefly introduce Integradde.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Maria. Thank you for the introduction. So I'm as Technology Center and Coordinated Entity of this project. Integradde started in October 2018. Is a bit more than half a project. It was a Factories of the Future call that addressed the topic of pilot lines for metal additive manufacturing. And just to give you a brief overview of Integradde, this stands for Intelligent Data-Driven Pipeline for the manufacturing of certified metal parts through DED processes. And I'll explain what is DED. So DED stands for Direct Energy Deposition Processes. It's a family of additive manufacturing technologies where the material is fused at the same time that is being deposited. So it's particularly interesting for large components, metal components, and this is what we are at the focus of the project. It's a consortium formed by 26 partners that covers RTOs, technology providers, and end users. And we are developing an end-to-end digital manufacturing solution that enables a bidirectional data flow for integration across the entire additive manufacturing chain. That means from product engineering phases, that is design, path planning, simulation, machine programming, to build additive manufacturing stage where the component is being built, but also including in this integration of data flow, the inspection and the post-processing activities with the target to reach to a certified metal component. So the challenge that are being addressed by this project is this family of methods of additive manufacturing in order to become factory ready and mainstream. There are present challenges in terms of robustness, productivity. Just to remind you that the large components, zero defect is even more critical. Regarding the manufacturers, we are also, I said, 5 pilot lines that in different sectors, from aeronautic, tooling, metalworking, automotive, and construction. The overall target technology readiness level of the project is 7 to 8. I am happy to be here and hope to share with you some of the experiences of the project. Some of the digital solutions, I already introduced this, that we have been developing and implemented in the project are the digital thread, the digital twin, product engineering tools for additive, process online solutions, and a bit more. So I'm looking forward for this change. Thank you.
Thank you. So now that you know all the panelists today, and you know, considering that they already introduced their projects and how you can benefit from them, let's go one by one to better understand. We have been talking about the productivity. We have been talking also about the, you know, training the workers and so on. But if maybe we can start with Camilo, that is the last person that introduced the project, and maybe we have now fresh information about Integradde. So how would you take your solution into the reality of manufacturing? I mean, and how you support the companies or the stakeholders that are interested in using these solutions to really implement them in their shop floors or factories?
Yeah. Okay, thanks for the question. So the overall work plan of the project is, as I said, already halfway. It's a pilot lines project, so we have a target to implement and deploy those solutions in those 5 end users I briefly introduced. But within the project, we set up a first level of deployment at 4 different open pilot lines located at different locations, different members of the consortium. So that is research organizations that we are acting as a test facility, a test bed for deploying those solutions. So this is a first level of deployment. Towards the end of the project, in coming months, actually, we are already starting that phase. We are deploying those solutions in the industrial partners, 5 of them. So those are members of the consortium. I'll talk a bit at the end of the session today, but we are also opening this opportunity of implementing integrated solutions in other interesting SMEs or companies that approach Integradde. That is through expression of interest call that I will briefly mention at the end. So we are looking forward to deploy the solutions at different levels. First in the project, during the project duration at the RTOs and then end users, also towards the uptake of additive manufacturing in other SMEs or companies of the ecosystem of additive manufacturing.
Okay, so there is an expression of interest currently open that you will tell us later where people can apply and benefit from the support that you are offering. And Camilo, you said that the pilot lines are based in different countries, the partners countries. Do you mean that only SMEs that are based in those specific countries can benefit from this open pilot line, or is open to anybody?
No, it's a European project, so cross-national is part of it, open to the European manufacturing ecosystem. Those, maybe I should elaborate a bit more on this. So the partners that are offering this, or we are deploying these open pilot lines are IMEN, located at Spain. We are specialized in powder feedstock and a specific technique of DED, that is laser metal deposition, but we also have CA in terms of inspection of additive manufacturing parts, West in Sweden for wire arc additive manufacturing, and IREPA Laser in France, also very specialized in laser-based manufacturing for DED. So we have a complementary set of capabilities, knowledge, and skills, and we put that as a network, we put that offer together for the interest of the uptake of the additive manufacturing.
Okay, thank you. And Cecile, you were talking about this modular factory solution. What are the benefits, or why maybe a company should think, look, this is for me, or I should go for this?
Yes, the idea is to allow faster, quicker change in the production line. So the idea is to be able to produce less product and change more often the production line. So that's the idea of DIMOFAC. It's to help the SME or the manufacturer to produce smaller production, smaller lot. And if you produce smaller lot, you have to change more often your pilot line. And with the DIMOFAC solution, we will give the possibility to decrease the time necessary to modify the production chain. So it's the idea, the main idea of the DIMOFAC project.
And what is the impact for a company to be able to reduce the time in order for changing this, what you mentioned, to make sure, you know, that they reduce, that they are more flexible?
Yes,
what is the advantage?
They are more flexible, then they could really answer the demand to give exactly what the customer is expected, because they really can customize the product that they will do if they can change more quickly their production chain. So.
Okay, so yeah, it seems like a big improvement for a company, you know, to be able to really offer the products more customized and flexible and very rapid.
Yes, I think it's the time are expecting this kind of flexibility. So the manufacturer could be able to change very quickly. For example, we have seen with the pandemic, so the problem where we need masks very quickly, but for sure we have manufacturers who can produce this mask, but because they don't have the chain ready for that, so that it takes more time than really. So we expect to be more responsive to any demand. So.
Okay, thank you. And Felix, you already mentioned, but what about Penelope? How an SME can benefit, or what do you bring to manufacturers?
Yeah, so Penelope is quite focused in this case to manufacturing of large components. So manufacturing of large components doesn't mean large companies. Yeah, also small companies are manufacturing large elements, yeah, metal elements or whatever. So for us, the key is how to link the engineering step, because in this type of elements, design and engineering takes a lot of resources in terms of effort, manual effort, and also in terms of time. Yeah, represents more or less up to 25% of the total cost of manufacturing of this component. That is work done by engineers or by designers in laptops or in computer. So this specification or this particularity is how to link with the manufacturing and how to address manufacturing process in order to be reconfigurable and also adaptable to the different designs or components that we have to build. And what we want to propose, because Penelope is starting more or less right now, we have less than 1 year of project, and also in middle of COVID, so we have very particular conditions right now. But yeah, we are moving forward. But what we want to address is to link this product-centric design with manufacturing, with the different manufacturing processes that we have to reconfigure, to set up, to parameterize in order to be more precise and to avoid reworks, to avoid to repair the elements. And for doing that, what is crucial is to know what is the real status and to provide feedback to the previous step in order to be more efficient and to be more optimal in the manufacturing process. So this is the key. And for doing that, what is key pillar is data sharing. Yeah, we have to share heterogeneous data from the beginning, from the design, from the conceptualization of the component that we have to build during the different steps. Yeah, and this is the main, is not relying on like expensive machines or expensive robotic solutions. We are not thinking on that. We are thinking on use cost-effective elements, helping the operators, and the key is to share data during the manufacturing or during the building of the component. And this is totally aligned with SMEs approach. Yeah. Increase the acquisition of elements of equipment for improving the performance in the manufacturing.
Yeah, maybe this is related also, if I may, Ifigenia, for LevelUp, not because, as Felix said, it's not that buying or making big investment in machinery, but keeping the ones that you have really alive. I guess this is what you, for your explanation, what I understand for LevelUp. But how important it is, to make the investments that the company did really last for for a long time, and that they don't need to invest maybe in the near future another important sum of money in this.
Thank you for the question. It's actually very important, and this was the trigger for our end users to participate in the project, because and we have companies that we're going to demonstrate the solutions. We focus on advanced manufacturing and digital technologies that are of different sizes. So solutions are not only applicable, because if someone hears a large equipment, no, it is critical equipment for your business. So whether it is an SME or a larger company, the LevelUp solutions are applicable. And it is of interest that if you want to, if there's a need to, okay, we have to upgrade to Industry 4.0, or however we're going to call this advanced manufacturing environment. This is a very expensive new capital investment, and it's not only the whole facet creates the actual cost of purchasing new production lines, but it is also the disposal of the older ones in a responsible, environmental friendly way. We address cases with more or less digitized machines, so machines that can be 10 years old or 30 years old, and we still find solutions to bring them to life and prolong their lifetime for 15 or 20 or more years. And this is going to be very crucial at this point for European manufacturing and for SMEs, because it is a challenge of being also not only cost effective, but keep what makes European manufacturing, in most cases, this is how it is perceived, very, very high quality and high precision. So by taking advantage of technologies, whether it is inspection, metrology, using semantics, high precision scanning, really going into depth in what we call domain knowledge, and really taking the information from people's minds, papers, and other systems that are in place, and centralizing them in a way that any action leaves a digital footprint. This is the way that we can help companies work with these advanced technologies and materials, and this has already benefits for them in terms of improved quality, less scrap, better energy consumption, and also less losses, I would say, from non-optimal operation of machines and production lines and processes in general.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, both Ifigenia and Felix were mentioning data sharing, also metrology, and maybe what is, Felix, from your point of view, what is the future of the manufacturing industry, or how you see the advancements going?
Yeah. So yeah, in my opinion, yeah, the goal has started some years ago with okay, we call it with a motto logo that we call mass customization, that at the end means how we could custom elements in order to fulfill different needs, and how to be responsive in order to at least to be competitive against other economies in the world. So from that, at the end, what we have to build, or what it is open, is new possibilities in terms of connecting supplier with the end user, and sharing new opportunities, business to business opportunity, in order to be more close and to be efficient. And during the COVID, yeah, this is one of the drawbacks that appear, yeah, and how to be, we call resilience, yeah, I suppose in all the European countries, about these networks between the provider, the users, technology providers, and so on. Also related with that, we have to be more intelligent in the manufacturing and open also new paradigms, yeah, in terms of maybe artificial intelligence and how to be optimized, or optimize manufacturing, and so on. And the last point that maybe also could open from this concept of mass customization is how to be, or how to build high added value components, like these large components, yeah, because we must be efficient, we must be sustainable, we have to ensure raw material, feedstock, and so on, trying to avoid defects or to repair, because it's quite difficult to repair defects in these large components or in high value added components. So for doing that also, we have to rely on data to know about the manufacturing processes, and from this knowledge, how to start to extract data services in order to be more optimal in the manufacturing, or to increase the knowledge in the manufacturing. And this is for a specific component, for a specific material. If we are changing material, the design, so new challenges appear. Yeah, we have to learn again from scratch, and takes a lot of time. And for doing that, okay, maybe we could tackle new approaches, new ways to work in order to reduce this setup time, ramp up, in order to be more efficient. Yeah? And all these aspects, I think, will have a continuity in the next years in Europe.
Mm-hmm. So maybe Cecil, would you like to add something?
No, I just see we have similar projects, so it's all probably you should agree if I'm wrong, but we all expect to increase the flexibility of the production line within our 4 projects. So that's really the main mantra of our project. And for sure, that's what we need in the future in Europe if we want to stay in the race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, also there are, if I may jump in, yeah, also derived from this concept of mass customization and complex products and systems that I agree with Celine, particularly for Integradde. I'll try to put a specific example for the audience, that the large components and the product engineering phase is quite intensive in resources. In process qualification used to take a lot of time, a lot of trials. So developing these digital solutions in the product engineering phase, we are finding a way of having this process qualification speed up. I'm talking about linking simulation with path planning and related that with the quality. So I'll introduce here the virtual and the digital replica of the physical part. If those match, you can elaborate on the digital, And since those solutions are digitally based, they can be deployed in SMEs. That is also another of the points that came out previously. So it's not limited to large enterprises to take on these solutions. So even in Integradde, we have end users, SMEs, that are bringing disruptive technologies for topology optimization and for parts being additively manufactured in a different way. So that is also quite interesting and exciting about the manufacturing nowadays, that the digital can be deployed faster and can be disruptive also for SMEs. So that is also, I think, a strong point for bringing everyone in these changes. Yeah.
And maybe also one other aspect that is adding to all this use of technology that Ifigenia mentioned about the circularity, because now the European Commission is not only asking SMEs to be competitive, but also with this Green Deal, with making Europe greener and so on. So Ifigenia, can you please briefly explain us how the climate protection or the environmental aspects are considered in your project?
Yeah, sure. There is the idea that you have a physical object that you need to monitor, but this is something that is usually done not necessarily in a digital friendly way. So we're trying to close the gap here with what we have designed as protocols. So there's a need to modernize a machine or perform functional diagnosis, inspect, refurbish. Maybe you need to, there is a defect, there is a problem, there's the need to disassembly, upgrade, repair, maybe remanufacture, and do some assembly testing. But so the whole circularity aspect is addressed in the sense that nothing is out an individual activity or action. Everything is part of the circle of life of the machine. Whether it is the intent of an action is to restore original functionality of the parts, or repair something, or even recycle what consists of recovering material, valorizing material from components that cannot be repaired. So every action that takes place on the physical object is digitized, leaving a footprint on the digital thread. And we have in mind the complete process and the environmental impact that this leaves. So whether it is going to be storage or waste service, whether it's going to be an upgrade that needs to incorporate new materials by discarding older ones or using additive manufacturing. So whatever happens is from a circularity and environmental friendly point of view. And the idea is to extend and prolong the lifetime of machines and processes while respecting the optimal operation that they should be functioning on. And whatever needs to go towards the end of life, this is treated in a way that whether it is the hardware that needs to be discarded, we have to keep into consideration that we have to have a machine that is productive, and what remains can be either reshaped and reused in other functional components. This is also something that we're looking into, or we go towards waste management and waste service providers.
And how, from your experience in the project and also supporting the SMEs, how do you think SMEs feel about this circularity approach do you think this is something that's a challenge for them? They are not used to it, or you know, they are more aware than we think they are?
In our experience, they are aware. They want to be environmental friendly. Like, this is something that is becoming more and more internalized, but it is difficult for the SMEs because they see this as a big mountain that they cannot go over, because it is very time, resources consuming, and it's something really big and costly for them. So by offering automated solutions that are really not at low costs, with different business plans, exploitation plans that we apply, so flexible, let's say, fees for smaller companies, this is something that they could actually use without having to make a very large investment on addressing something that it is really a small part of their operation.
Yeah.
But they are really more accepting that this is a necessity, and this is something that really needs to happen if we want to continue operating.
Mm-hmm. And Camilo, I know also in Integradde you are also including some environmental aspects.
Yeah, that's completely right. Also, it's one of the strong point and main advantages of additive manufacturing in many of the applications, not only, but it's a more resource efficient way of manufacture parts, and in some cases is the only way to build and to manufacture complex products and parts. So for sure, yeah, this is the time that we have to do more complex products with less resources, energy, material, and additive, since we do not remove waste stream, is lower in alternative or conventional methods for many of the applications that we are also addressing. So for sure, yeah, environmental impact, so digital and green aspect are very interrelated in Integradde and the projects in this dimension of additive manufacturing. Yeah.
So from what I'm hearing today, your projects are very you know, ambitious, in the sense that, you know, with you are trying to really change, you know, how SMEs can do their businesses. But also we were talking about this environmental aspect that adds maybe more complexity in the daily work of the SMEs. But I would like to ask you, what is the biggest challenge you face in implementing your project? I guess number one is COVID, that this is the challenge we are all facing every day. But besides that, maybe if you can, I don't know who wants to start, but if you could
I will.
let us know.
If you want. So,
go ahead,
in my opinion, so all these projects, also involve a large research, multidisciplinary approach, trying to cover what we are proposing at the end. The result is we are managing consortium from, I think, 26 to 31 or 32 partners from different European countries, also involving a range of technologies that we have to put in common. Camilo mentioned simulation, mentioned additive manufacturing, topology optimization, metrology. I think Ifigenia also mentioned different manufacturing processes with different knowledge, how to set up, to make the ramp up. So at the end, all the aspects that are behind all these projects are very extensive in terms of technologies and how to tackle and how to try to link all these technologies like in a common framework. I think this is, for me, the most challenge. The COVID also increased the challenge, of course, because it's more difficult to be in contact. But even without COVID, how to link different knowledge, different language, because at the end, we are talking people that are from artificial intelligence, with people that are mechanical engineers, with electrical engineers. So all of us, we have our own language, and how to know what the other is talking about is not very easy. Yeah, and put all this knowledge in this common umbrella. This is the challenge for me, for all the projects that we are presenting today. Yeah, therefore.
Yes, it's the same for us in DIMOFAC. So we have experts in holistic architecture, digital infrastructure, supplier of production modules. So, and they are all members of the consortium, and we have to be sure that we can be able to layer other experts together. So we have to be sure that we communicate well, and we have the same language, and we are able to build a wall system that is working, even if each one has their own language. So it's exactly what you described, Felix. So in our case also. And for sure, the COVID, with the COVID, the communication is not really easy, but thanks to the modern technology, so it works. So like today, so we can speak even if we are everywhere in a different country. So finally, it's possible to create this communication. We just have to be sure that we speak all the same language. I see that Camillo, you agree with this statement?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I live it that personally, even in my work environment. The digital and manufacturing people, sometimes we speak the different language, and in this project with a large number of partners covering end-to-end from step 1 to step 10 of our manufacturing workflow in a complex product is challenging to put to bring everyone to the table and talk towards the same objective. But I think we also have a long and a very established tradition in Europe of large of collaborative projects, maybe not that large as the ones that we are presenting today, but it's challenging, but at the same time it's an opportunity to come up with innovative holistic solutions. No? So yeah, that's completely true. What it has been discussed. Yeah, it's my personal feeling as well.
If I may add, and thinking about what remains after the end of our projects, even if we overcome all these barriers, what remains to be, what we see as an issue that needs to be addressed as a challenge, if you want to actually take these outcomes and bring them to the market, is a matter of trust, because we are handling people's data, people's machinery, people's we're messing with their products and processes. This is really what we do with all the tools that we develop. So it is a very, very important to be able to demonstrate that okay, we digitize your domain knowledge, we digitize in a smart way, we're not going zero everything everywhere. If this is not your case, it depends on what you want to spend and what is critical for your company, for your organization. And we see this day by day with especially the market actors that we're working in the project, that the trust that we build by working together in this environment that is more, let's say, research friendly and with the openness that we're working on, this is a very important asset if we want the actual products to live in the market afterwards. So it really helps when we are open and help assist build the trust among us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're talking here about, you know, the large component, the machinery, the supply chains, but at the end, who is behind all this? At the end, there are persons, there are workers, and here comes the next question. You know, what is the position of workers in the future of manufacturing? Because I here in Spain, they like a lot this conspiracy theory saying that robots will steal our workplaces. So what do you think will be the future of workers? Cécile?
So that we will change the job. So we will create, we will need skilled force in this kind of manufacturing. So we will need someone with knowledge on physics or engineering or material on manufacturing process or in design or in modeling. So we'll just change the kind of work that will be necessary, but we will still need a workforce on human workforce in the manufacturing. So that will not suppress all the worker. It's just different job.
Yeah, exactly. We need to prepare our workforce for the challenge to come, right?
Yes, we will need many new kind of specialists covering everything from product design to product approval and certification. So in DIMOFAC, we will contribute to high quality job creation and better working conditions. So we will also develop some training to help the customer to use the solution.
That's great. Yes, in the case of I4MS, I'm talking about the experience I have in the projects, and based on the training materials. There are many projects that are developing training materials in order to accompany, or to go hand by hand with the workers for the real uptake of this technology, because at the end they will be the persons when the project ends that will be managing all these technologies and all the improvements within the company. So yeah. So when we are talking also about workers, something that is very important, and I guess especially in some industries, maybe aeronautic or automotive, is the worker safety. Now that there are more AGVs, that there are more automation, how is this safety approach tackled in your projects?
Yeah. So
Felix?
for example, in Penelope, yeah, the goal that we have, and also I will link with your previous question, yeah, at the beginning of Industry 4.0, yeah, the controversia has been put, or the emphasis on how the robot will replace the operator, or if this will be possible or not. Yeah. So right now, I think it is clear that we are not going to replace operator. Maybe in some applications, yes, but are not valuable maybe operations for that, and maybe it could be better to make by a machine because it's repetitive or different aspects. Yeah. And what we are talking right now is how to extend the capabilities of the operator with different systems. Yeah. And a system could be a robot, or could be a visualization tool that will provide information to the operator in order to help, or it could be an exoskeleton or whatever. Yeah. So for all of these technologies, and of course for robots, yes. So what we have to ensure is the safety of the operator. Yeah. So new robots has appeared in the last years. They call collaborative robotics. Of course, being collaborative by itself doesn't mean safety. Yeah. And we have to take into account also the manufacturing process, the specifics from the manufacturing process, also working conditions and so on, in order to ensure safety. But maybe using a collaborative robotics with a grinding machine never will be a solution, yeah, for the operator. So cannot work together. So, but what we have to do is to extend with new tools the capabilities of the operators in a safe way, yeah, and in a safe way in general for all the devices that we have to deploy, yeah. So for me, this is what is a new approach, yeah, compared with 5-6 years ago. And of course, in Penelope is clear, due to the dimensions of the component, it is clear that usually a robot-based solution seems not very competitive, yeah, because we need a lot of auxiliary elements that has to be installed with the robot in order to tackle the different deformations, tolerances, and so on. We cannot program a robot trajectory in a fixed way because the component has different tolerances. Yeah, it's not automotive. So for doing that, we need the operators. And what we have to do is how to enhance the operator with intuitive programming tools, with new ways to configure or to set up the process in a fast way, in an easy way, in order to be more efficient and to be more productive. Yeah.
Okay. So since there are only 3 minutes left, in case that the audience have any question, I will really encourage you to write it in the questions section, to read them out loud to the speakers. But in the meantime, since I would like to end, you know, this panel discussion with some call to actions, because we have been talking a lot about what your projects offer, how you are supporting to adapt environmentally, how you are supporting workers, and all this. And I really would like, you know, that we finish this conversation with a call to actions, with a specific what I need to do or where do I need to look for information if I want to take part in your project. So first, Camilo, since you were talking about the expression of interest, if you can please proceed with the explanation. Ines, if you can move the next slide.
Yeah. Okay, so I was introducing this at the beginning. Integradde is a project that started 34 months ago. We are ready to offer a service to the SMEs and mid-caps, and we have a call for SMEs and technology providers that close at the end of this month. So this open pilot network that I was explaining, IMEN, West, Digitalise Plus and SME MX3D, we put together an offer of 15 services in consultancy, process development, training for the different applicants that would like to test these technologies that we develop in the project, their technologies in this contest, in these open pilot lines, completely out free of charge. So these 5 companies will be selected after the application close, 30th of September. So we are looking forward for your applications. There will be a webinar is on the slide there on 8th of September. And there has been another one at the end of July. Both of them are and will be available on the website. I think it's posted here, the community for Integradde project under the Funding Box platform is on the chat. So you can find out more information there and also contact details to reach us out. Yeah, looking forward to receive application and engage with SMEs and mid-caps on this topic.
Thank you, Camilo. So stay tuned. The most important date that you have to keep in mind, the 8th of September, that they will have this session in order to offer information to all the SMEs that are interested. And then, Cecile, what is coming in DIMOFAC? What we should be, you know, looking for?
Yes, for now we are in a previous stage compared to Integradde. So for now we are developing our technology. So we will have more dissemination activity later. So maybe in half a year or something like that. So for now it's too early to say, but you can follow what we do in the website of DIMOFAC. So I see in the chat that you give the link. So you will have information about where we are and the progress we made in the following months on the website or with our newsletter.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so subscribe to the newsletter to be updated with all the news of DIMOFAC. And if Eugenio, what about LevelUp?
For us, it is the same. We're in a position, in a time of the project where we are really going into hands-on with the demonstrators and putting effort in making things work, I would say. So stay tuned. We will also organize some workshops, and you will be able to find this information also in our website and in our newsletter. And we, myself and a lot of the people in the LevelUp also participate in a variety of networking events. Like next week, we are participating in an event with French industry market players. So there is also the possibility to reach out to us if you want a more down-to-earth business approach discussion also.
Yeah, thank you. So Felix, what about Penelope?
Yeah, we are in the starting period right now, so we are pushing our efforts in technology-driven approach, developing different technologies and also defining data formats for this data sharing. But in parallel, also we have defined, we call didactic factories, that are facilities linked to different RTOs that are in the project, in the consortium, that will open in the future possibilities in order to showcase different technologies that we are proposing, and also in our case for providing training and for skilling workforce. So the intention is to start this phase maybe in 1 year later. So we need some time also to prepare. But in the future, the intention that we have is to provide visibility to this European ecosystem in general.
Okay, so thank you all for your feedback. Thank you for explaining so in detail, you know, how the audience can benefit from your project, what will bring. So I think there are opportunities that you cannot miss. You can connect with the experts also, I guess, through the project websites and also subscribe to their newsletter. But what is important is they are now at the beginning of their projects. They are now developing solutions. There are trainings. There will be didactic factories and showrooms, activities where you can really find real benefits. So I really, you know, encourage all of you to stay tuned, because there are a lot of opportunities for you to come. So thank you all for being here, and yeah, we wait you to the next web cafe that will be held in autumn. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.